That's right. Start every podcast off with a little wow. This is Jester. This is Phoebe. This is Bubs and Coyote. Welcome into episode number 14 of Too Much Intimacy.
1 + 4 = 5, which is my lucky number.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
When did you discover 5 was your lucky number?
I don't know. I don't even remember. I just remember it was always my favorite.
21 is mine, and I remember how it happened.
Is it a hockey player's number?
Eventually, yes. But my sport was basketball.
Oh.
And I wanted to wear, the only jersey that I had was number 22, Clyde Drexler. And most people wanted to be 23, Michael Jordan, right? That was the popular number. So, like, I didn't actually care about the
What team was
popular
this
number.
for, number 20?
This is just like when you're picked up, this is like when you're doing, summer league with other kids. You, like, get to, like, pick a number. And you want to have the same number as Michael Jordan.
Oh, I see.
And so I didn't care about having the Michael Jordan number, but I wanted the Clyde Drexler number. But of course, I didn't get to pick early because my last name was kind of near the end. So somebody picked 23, and somebody who wanted 23 picked 22. So then I picked 21, and then it just stuck ever since. And my favorite hockey player was number 21, and it's just been the number.
Nice. It's a good number.
It's a good number. It's 7 times 3. It's 2 primes put together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a number of it's a score in American football. I think that had a pretty strong influence on me back in the day. I cared a lot about what was going on with the Broncos. So like,
fascinating.
Yeah. You care so little.
Sorry.
You do not care at all. Okay.
I don't care about the Broncos, no.
All right, so the lucky number conversation got us. Oh, we should be looking at the time. We should be looking.
Well, what Bubs is getting.
Oh, I'm just trying to get it so that I can.
Okay, fine.
I can look at the time without Coyote. Here.
Getting jostled.
Without Coyote getting too jostled. Welcome into cuddle time. Welcome into the Cuddle Cast.
How many people do you think listen to this, like, in a cozy place? Do you think that, like, people listen to it in bed, or, like, more like driving or going to the gym?
I hope people would. I feel like this is a bedtime podcast. I can't imagine having the best, like, the hardest workout listening to us. But if you're listening to this while working out and you just, like, set some personal record, please let us know in the comments. Or just if you're having fun working out. I'm trying to get my ass back to the workout routine.
Yeah, I got excited when you planted the seed.
Of joining Run Club?
Oh no, of doing like a contest.
You got excited for that?
Yeah.
I thought you got
Actually,
annoyed
you
at
didn't
that.
plant the seed. Cass planted the seed, and then you got excited about it, and I was like, all right. All right, if you want to do it, I'll, maybe I'll be a part of it, but I'm not going to, like, lead the charge.
Right.
And then you were like, no. And then I thought about it, and I got excited.
Now you got excited. So now you're bringing it up live on the podcast to see if I'll accept this.
To see who wants to take my
exercise
challenge.
What's the challenge, babe?
Well, I don't know what it would be for a group, but for me, if I were to do a personal challenge, I would like to pick like 4 yoga poses.
Okay.
And like learn how to hold them for like 5 minutes or something like that.
Whoa.
Although I don't like know enough about yoga to be like, is that realistic to be like?
Oh, I'm sure you
to
could.
be like, okay, I can hold. Like, I don't know if I could hold a crow pose for 5 minutes, but that would be awesome.
I bet you. Which one's crow pose?
You're on your knees are on your elbows,
right.
and you're on your hands. It's like it's an arm balance.
Yeah, I bet you people can hold that for 5 minutes. But like
okay,
superstars.
people, but like me.
I mean, you could, but I think I think 5 minutes is a lot to expect. I think you should start with like a 30 seconds or a minute. But I don't know.
I don't know.
Have you ever tried to time yourself?
No, not really. I
Oh,
think
sorry.
I could do it. I think I could get close.
To 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I
that's
had to
quite
build up to it, but I think I could.
How much do you think you could do right now?
Like, I don't know, a minute and a half?
You think you could do a minute and a half right now?
Yeah, I think so.
You're in great shape. I can't even get into one crow pose. I can't even, like, what's the minimum number of seconds for it to count as having been in the crow pose? I can maybe hit that level. This is a tough one.
Really? I feel like you could do it.
I can't hold it. I certainly can't hold it for more than 5 seconds.
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
I could be way off. I honestly haven't attempted in a little while, so I could be way off.
Oh, this shit's just like, yeah, I could do 90 seconds.
I'm pretty sure I could. We'll do it. After this,
we'll have to
we'll
find
figure
out.
out my max, my
Yeah.
baseline.
Yes, that'll be fun.
But I would do crow pose.
Okay.
I would do headstand. Headstand is one
Jesus.
that feels so good.
Wait, which one's is headstand? Is that the one you're like?
It's like a handstand, but you're on your head.
Are you on like your neck or are you on the top of your
You're
head?
on the top of your head.
How's that? You can do that? With like using a wall, right?
No, using your core. Okay, never mind.
You can just do a headstand?
Well, you have your arms. You're like a tripod.
Yeah. Wait, so arms are like this?
Your
or?
arms are like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
this isn't the best thing to talk about on a podcast,
I
especially
mean,
if people are listening to it, not watching.
oh, you guys should be watching. Half this podcast is visual. The cats are here. We're both very attractive people. That's really the main draw.
Oh my god, babe.
Just kidding. But look at these beautiful... I mean, I'm not kidding. We are pretty hot. But it's mostly that we've made a beautiful frame with 2 beautiful kittens and a beautiful life.
Lamb chop is here.
Lamb chop's here. Monkey's here.
Monkey's here. Yeah,
Okay.
it's good. All right, so if you were gonna do a contest, what would you do? Would you accept like a yoga pose?
I would accept that one because I think it would be a good one for me. I think it would be good for me to...
do a long chair pose.
A long chair pose would be a good one. Yeah, I could do that. I could do a real long chair pose. Let's do a chair pose competition. Let's do
just one pose?
No, let's do chair pose. Let's do crow. All right, you're going to win that one. So we'll do chair pose, we'll do crow.
Headstand?
I can't even get up a headstand, babe. There's no way.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to rub it in, sure. We should do one that's like,
It's a good one though. You can do it against a wall.
We should do an upper body strength one.
Well, headstand and crow are both upper body strength. I think they should be balanced out.
I think that crow is about as hard as I can go. I think I cannot do a headstand. I think that you are, like, I think at my best yoga ever, when we were going like twice a week, I could sometimes get to headstand.
A headstand is easier than a handstand.
I don't think I could do either.
I think you could.
I'm not very good at being upside down.
Okay. Well, maybe you just didn't have a teacher that made it seem easy.
Maybe. It never seemed easy.
Okay. I had a teacher who was like, almost every day, she was like, all right, we're doing handstands.
Who was this?
This was at my like nice gym that I went to in my old life.
Oh, okay. So that's how you get the handstand.
Well, I wouldn't say I have the handstand, but I have confidence to. It's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we could relearn it together, but I don't think that I'm in the mood to learn handstand.
I mean, you're pretty busy right now, like, so.
Yeah.
But you're done with your acting workshop in what, like 2 weeks?
In a week.
So, in a week. It's fast.
Yeah.
So after that, back to the competition.
Back to the competition. That's what I gotta do. Something to get in shape. I do want to be in like real good theater shape. I think I've said this many times.
What does that mean exactly? Like, what would you want it? What's your dream?
I think it's like
program.
I think it's just like I think it's probably like doing a yoga class every day, and like doing a yoga, like a yoga class or a speech class, like something that I'm required to speak and perform, like, yeah, like perform every day, like a script or like a for an audience, which I guess kind of that is life, but you know.
You have to you're performing every day. I mean, yeah, when you
Yeah,
go
you
to your
kind of are.
job.
Yeah, exactly. You're always performing. Um, no, but like I was just in like really good shape. My lung capacity was really, really large. I wasn't like ever a singer, but I had a really good voice. My body, I wouldn't say I was strong, but I was pretty I'm still pretty flexible actually. But we were making like, this was when I was probably the best shape I was in before I came to New York and started working out, was in Moscow. And we just did like these physical movement classes every day where we just like made ourselves into little monsters with 2 or 3 people and like moved around the room, you know.
Mm,
And they just kind of it was awesome. So you just like
yeah.
really got to learn how to balance it, how to move in every way. It was really, really awesome. Um, yeah.
You know, I'm dying to do the acro yoga that you need to do with a partner.
We should try to find a way
To
towards
learn that.
Yeah. We might have to like go through clown school or something, but I think we can.
No, I think they teach it.
I bet they do.
Especially like when the weather is nice, I feel like they do it outside. Well, I don't know. I used to see people doing it in Washington Square Park.
I think I need to just get down with the yoga part first.
Okay.
I do believe that we can be this couple, but I am not currently in that kind of shape.
Yeah.
I could try though. I could try.
You could get there, baby. I believe it. You could get there pretty fast, I think.
All right. If you're getting the competitive, if you're trying to get the competitive juices flowing, you want to like do couples.
I don't know. Well, I'm in the run club. I am really impressed with myself because I am in the run club now. How many times have I gone? Like four?
Yeah,
4 times?
you're a card-carrying member.
The first time I only did I came back early with like another group of people who they did like 3 miles or something. But the last 2 times I went the full way, and I think we went like 5 miles. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Without like really taking a break.
That's a lot.
I was like, fuck. I'm just like, I can do anything.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. I
couldn't, if I was by myself, I could not do it. I think because I'm with other people though.
Yeah.
And we're like chatting too.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's lung capacity right there. I think I want to join this. Like, I've never liked to run. Well, I like to run it was early high school that we, like, running was a major part of our gym class. We ran a mile every class.
Every class?
Every class. Twice a week we ran a mile.
Oh my God. We had to do it once a year.
No, we had to do the 3 mile once a year. Or twice a year, I think. But I had a sub 6-minute mile. So I was like really.
That's fast, babe.
I was really good at it back in the day.
I mean, your legs are long.
My legs are long, but now I just feel like my joints, I don't know. I rolled the ankle once, but I don't have any like lingering injuries. I'm just really nervous about my joints. I think I'd need to learn how to run properly for my skeleton. That's what I want to figure out.
Is there like a school for that?
I'm sure there's like YouTube videos where you can like work on your form. Like where do you hit on your foot? Like how do you get the most springage out of your...
I think you have to do that with a trainer. They have like machines where they can like, they can analyze your feet. Like I think if you go to the Nike store or something, you put on like a shoe with like a thing in it and they like map how your foot is when you run and they can give you shoes to help you.
Oh babe, what if I become a fucking runner?
I mean, it would be impressive.
Let's do it. Let's just fucking start running marathon. You want to become a marathon couple?
No, I don't want to run marathons.
Okay. What's the max? Would you do a half?
Maybe I would. I don't know. I got invited to do like that. To do that race.
Yeah.
Up at the... Where is it? In the Adirondacks. It's supposed to be really pretty, but I just like... I like the run club because it feels fun.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood right now I think I learned this recently about myself. I'm not in the mood to really like feel like I'm working hard.
Yeah.
Like I want everything to feel enjoyable. I don't want it to feel like, oh my god, I gotta do this thing because I set a goal, you know? I want to do it because I'm like I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think that's good, babe. I think that's good. I think I maybe would be served by like being a little competitive with it. Like,
Yeah, I think doing it with people, other
that'll,
people does make it fun.
yeah, I think that'll be good.
I got worried that if I was going to commit to doing that race that I would have to like train on my own. And I don't know that.
Yeah. You don't really want to train on your own.
I don't know if I want to do that.
But hey, maybe if I get into it, we can be a race couple. We can do like an obstacle course. I want to be an obstacle course couple.
What do you mean obstacle course? Like American Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, exactly. I want to be. I want to go.
You
want to
have like the handle, like the monkey bars
the
in our
bars,
kitchen?
those are so cool, babe. I would love that. How awesome would that be?
I mean, like aesthetically, it's not my first choice.
Okay,
but
aesthetically, it would
I
not
do
be
think
the most pleasing.
it would be cool. Just like to get strong in like a playful way.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
We'll do it someday. Someday
We'll get there.
we'll get there.
I'm excited that you're excited about it.
I'm excited to
I'm
get
try
back
to use
in
this to
shape.
my advantage.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back in shape. I think the breath has always been like a key to something I've been super curious about, and like I feel like I was like really good at getting a good expansive breath and like turning my skeleton into an amplifying system. Like when I was taking care of my voice, like I think I had a really resonant voice. And I think I probably still have it, but like I'm not taking the best care of my throat right now, and I'm definitely not taking the best care of my lungs. So, we'll see what happens when I start getting into cardio again, because I really enjoyed the like dance party thing that we did with Sean and Kat. That was fucking awesome. I think if we just did one dance party a week, like that's a great fucking way to stay in shape. And then you sprinkle in some yoga. You climb Mount Beak. You climb a fucking mountain every so often. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I feel like there was a brief moment last year when I had done the Monday morning mountain climb for like a couple of months that I was like, ooh, yeah. And then it got too cold, and then it was a tough winter.
What do you think is stopping you from getting back into it?
Fear. I don't know. Waking up, morning time. I gotta get my ass out of bed. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I can do it. I could start getting my ass out of bed on Mondays and do Monday morning mountain hikes. I think I could definitely do that. You don't really like getting out of bed in the morning.
It's whatever you want to do. I never thought I was going to do a Monday morning hike, but
I know.
You seemed pretty jazzed when you were doing it, so.
It was great. It was a good way to start the week.
Yeah.
I met that guy who, I met this guy who's like a professor of writing at NYU or something, just like a random dude on the trail, and like it was like 2 Mondays in a row, and I was like, you're you're one of the angels. You've just been sent here. You're not a real person. And I was like, oh, so you want to like do this again? And he's like, yeah, sure. Let's exchange numbers. And I was like, all right. So we exchanged numbers, but he was like, oh, by the way, I only have a flip phone, and I only check my text messages on Wi-Fi. So this is like a guy who's like half living off the grid, and I'm like, all right, yeah, now I know you're not real. But then I texted with him and, went back and forth, and like, yeah, it turns out he's a real person.
Yeah, he read you some of your stuff.
Yeah, he read a couple of my stories. He really helped me.
Was this before your Substack even?
It was like when I had started the Substack, but before I had committed to doing it weekly. I think I'd sent him a couple of the pieces that I'd published.
Yeah.
Ooh, that smells good. I have
Do you
one
want a
baby
little?
dog.
Yeah, that was cool. That was like, I mean, I don't know your relationship with this guy, how much it developed, but that was cool that he read your stuff. And
He didn't
gave you
respond to my
he
last
gave you
text.
really thoughtful
Yeah.
notes.
I bought his book and I sent him a picture of it, and he didn't respond to that.
Well, because is that all you did? You bought his book and you just sent a picture. You didn't say anything.
I know. I said, "Is this yours? Is this you?" Because I wasn't 100% sure. Because I didn't get his last name. It's not like saved in my phone.
Oh. Well,
I like remembered it from something.
I think
I
he
hunted it down.
I think he would still be friends with you.
I think so too. I should probably read it. That's probably what I should do. What am I reading now? Right now I'm reading H.G. Wells's A Brief History of the World. What the hell? Oh. Well, that's... How did that happen? Did you do this? I didn't mean to get it. That's not... Whoops. So H.G. Wells,
what's going on?
I was this cover is like really broken. It's like falling out, and it's like a taped cover, and somehow my like bookmark on my like the little strap on my journal got in under here.
I don't know. I did not do that.
That's so crazy. I can't. That seems like something that Houseby did, and I don't think I did it. Anyway, H.G. Wells was like a he was like an amateur historian as well as a sci-fi writer. And actually, I'm not even sure what kind of novels he wrote. I can't remember right now, but he was a major writer, and he wrote A Brief History of the World, and he starts it from like the formation of the planet. Like he like goes back to the Big Bang, and he like takes us through like evolution and then human evolution, and it's like really, really cool. I mean, like it's like a century old, so it's probably pretty outdated, but it's very interesting.
How far have you gotten through the book?
We've just gotten to writing. Humans have just discovered writing.
Oh, I see. So he went through. Are you enjoying his perspective?
Yeah, I am.
Does he feel like an optimist, or is he purely like a unbiased journalist?
I think he's writing from an unbiased voice. I do think there's a little bit of wonder, a little bit of like, ooh, look at this amazing thing called life develop. I do think there's that sense of optimism.
Mm-hmm.
Although I haven't gotten, to the part, we haven't gotten to war and stuff. Right now we're still working on writing. He hasn't started talking about the darker sides of humanity.
Is he in like ancient Egypt? When does writing start?
Yes. So, well, back when he was writing, we believed that the first writing was about 10 to 12,000 years old in Sumeria, which is in the Fertile Crescent, which is in like Iraq, that area.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that's where, that's like, they call it the birthplace of civilization, because a lot of really old cities are there. Like there's we can track human activity back there pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
What was I? Oh, and yeah, so ancient Egypt, I think is like kind of the first major step along the road of writing, like taking writing from like kind of like scratches on the wall into what's called cuneiform, which I don't really know anything about, but it's kind of like a pictogram, and then Egyptian translates it into like a hieroglyph, and
do they really know, like, okay, he's talking about this early time, like, how much do you think he really knows about this, or how much do you think we really know?
Very little. There's so much more in history that we don't know than we do. There are things that have just been completely, like, we're just putting as good a piece, like, that's why I was saying, like, back when he wrote that, like, 100 years ago, I think we've discovered older writings since then,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still think it came from that area, but...
Yeah, if you think about it, like, I don't know, this was always kind of the impression that I got when we were learning about, like, ancient Egypt in school, was, like, I'm like, how do they, when they explain, they're like, oh, we think that these characters mean this thing because of this, and because these people are doing this in the picture. And I would be like, what? It's like we're playing. It's, I know I'm not the most educated person in this category, so like I really shouldn't be talking like shit about this, but I do remember thinking like, it's like, how why are we learning about this? Like, I feel like it's like you're playing Pictionary. Like, how good of a chance do you really think we have of getting it right from like looking at that?
Well,
I don't know.
So I think the oldest languages that we understand like fully, there's something called a Rosetta Stone. And like it's like something, if you can find a source that has 3 languages on it, then you can like triangulate. If you know 2 of the languages, you can figure out the third. So there's something, I don't know how to describe it, but like there's something called a Rosetta Stone that's basically like a translation thing. So it's like if you have Rosetta Stone in ancient Greek, which we know, like we can trace back to how long, like we can see its evolution. Ancient, what's another, ancient Hebrew. And then like if there is a tablet or something, if you can find some writing that have those 2 languages and then a third unknown language, you can figure it out.
I don't understand how this works, but
it's not interesting.
No, but I like to learn that the name Rosetta Stone actually comes from a real thing and isn't just like a weird name.
It's a real stone.
Scholarly sounding name.
I think
that's crazy. So like it was like one stone, or it's like a type of tool?
I think it was. I think they have probably discovered a multiple. Oh man, I hope I'm not even. I might be completely inaccurate on this. This could be embarrassing.
We can.
But I think they've found. It wasn't a tool, but it was like something that you just find in the history. In the history digging sometimes. It's just preserved from old books or whatever.
You know what I think about when I think about like archaeologists like doing a dig?
Yeah.
The like frame of reference that always comes to mind is that movie The Mummy.
Yeah.
That's such a good movie.
It's such a good movie with Brendan Fraser.
Oh my God. Who's the actress? I thought she was
Rachel
good.
Weisz?
Oh, was that really her?
Yeah, I think it was her. I think that was her like biggest thing.
She was so hot.
Oh, she was so hot. I've seen her on Broadway a couple times. She's fucking great.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was in what was the play? I forget the name of the play now, but she was in it. Allison Janney was in it. There's a couple other big people.
Where is she from? Is she American?
I think she's English.
Yeah, I don't know why I asked the question the way I did.
Anyway.
Cool. I got pretty...
You got pretty stoned?
Not like pretty, but I definitely feel the shift.
Yeah.
The shift has settled.
The settle has shifted.
I do enjoy that we were talking about ancient Egypt, though.
That was fun.
There's something that feels like very... I don't know. I think people are fascinated with it for a reason,
Well, it's ancient.
It feels very exciting and like sexy and like, I don't know.
I mean, what do you think? It is.
It probably do you think that it was actually as sexy as we make it, or that's just because of our like...
It was definitely not as sexy as we made it. These people were probably all like, they're probably
I don't know, sex is like pretty magical, and they were doing like weird magical stuff, so I guess...
Well, physically, yeah, they could have been. I mean,
do you think there are drawings of it? Are there drawings are there hieroglyphs of people doing the dirty?
I think probably occasionally, yeah. I'm sure that as soon as there was art, there was porn. I think that those two things go hand in hand.
Well, there was the Kama Sutra, but
yeah,
I don't know that like every culture has the same thing.
Right. I mean, not every culture, but
Well, the Kama Sutra wasn't even really all about sex. Did you know that?
It's like kind of about like energy transformation, right?
Well, yeah, but like the actual book. So if you can like buy the book, it's like, from what I remember, I didn't read the whole thing, but it's like kind of like a instructional like book on like what to do once you're married.
Nice.
I think. Yeah. Or maybe it has to do with, maybe it also includes dating. It's like a guide, but it's like, it's not, it's also about like how to take care of yourself as a person, how to like do certain things in the home, like certain traditions, or like,
Okay, so it's like
I don't know, like a
it's a
cultural
classic task.
manual.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
And I think there was some stuff in there about sex, but anyway.
It's an a book of ancient
Wasn't
tradition.
it wasn't like all just a kinky thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex is a part of a healthy, lifestyle. I think. Seriously.
I
Could
believe
you
you,
get
but
part
the
of
way
your-
I believe you, but the way you said it, you just sounded like such a like weird, like a dad, like talking awkwardly to their kid, explaining what sex is.
You should be having weekly sex to make sure that you're having a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Part of your balanced breakfast.
Well, like that's how I feel, but I wonder like what percentage of people do you think like are like don't want to have sex, like people who are asexual? How many?
Like permanently asexual or just temporarily asexual?
I think permanently, or like I don't know. It's like identifying as a gender.
I think
like
it's
as long as
relatively
anything
low.
it lasts.
Yeah, I think it's a relatively low percent.
There's all these things that I want like we're talking about that I feel like we could just Google.
Yeah. Okay. Google it. Yeah, you've got your phone. I think less than 1% of the population considers itself asexual. That's a pretty rare one.
I mean, it might be hard to know in the world because not every maybe. Oh.
What do we got?
While it's difficult, AI overview. While it's difficult to pinpoint an exact number, estimates suggest approximately 1% of the global population.
1% seems high to me.
That means around 70 million people. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Although, yes, like they say, it's a spectrum, so.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Okay, so 70 million people.
So you're saying that we should be telling people that they should be having sex once a week because it's 99% of people.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that's like if everyone's relationship with sex is going to be different. Sex is a very sensitive thing. There's a lot of trauma around sex, depending on like your entryway into sex. If you live in a sexually traumatized world, which most of us have always for all of history, you're going to be it's going to be a little bit of a traumatized thing.
Mm-hmm.
Life, this is the interesting thing about trauma, is like, since we have named trauma, it's like, was life just always traumatic? And now that we like, now that we've named
that's what
it,
they're fucking saying. Sorry, I feel like I just
go ahead,
freaked out.
Go ahead. You went. You literally tried to shut me up with scoffing. Okay.
No. I wasn't scoffing at you. I was scoffing at like the fact that I went to this meditation class with this girl from the Run Club.
Oh, the Buddhists. That's what the Buddhists are saying.
That's what the Buddhists are saying. And I'm like listening to this lady talk about how basically the baseline of like being a human is like that we're our actual purpose to come to Earth is to suffer. And I was like, come on.
Yeah, I don't buy that. That's why I can't get down with
But
Buddhism.
like I think there was something getting lost in the language of it, kind of.
Uh-huh.
Like she was talking for a while about this, and like, when I imagine being in that perspective, I'm like, I guess it could make sense. I think there is a way that you could accept it where it wouldn't feel like you're just not an optimistic person. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
I think I think about it as like, I had forgotten that tenet until you told me. But like when I was in college, I was, I did like the Eastern philosophical. I was like into this studying different religions thing.
Yeah.
And when you said suffering, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And like the theory is that it was born in, like India, which was like a really, hot place, very difficult to survive, like lots and lots of people, a kind of a brutal caste system, and so life was very much about suffering for a large percentage of the population. And I think you could probably say that about most of the population of human history, but I think I think we are breaking away from that. I think we can choose to live a life that is not about suffering. It doesn't mean you can avoid suffering, but you don't have to make suffering the mantelpiece.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think they're like that was definitely my like my initial reaction was like, oh. And I still think that I feel that way at my core. I agree with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a part of me that since I went to that thing, when annoying things pop up in life, because this lady gave like a million examples, like, oh, when this thing happens, when this thing happens, you know, like when you spill your coffee, when you're late, and it seemed now it's an interesting thing to try on in those moments where when that thing happens, I'm like, you know, my initial instinct is to be like, oh, God damn it. And like I get mad at myself, or I try to like get mad at someone.
Right.
Usually that's my knee jerk reaction.
Stupid. Yeah. Stupid gravity.
Trying to like control this thing.
Yeah.
And there is like, I feel like there's a hint of, maybe I'm seeing like a whisper of like, oh, well, if this is just like part of like what is supposed to happen, then just like, maybe it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It is. It's true.
Just roll with the punches, you know?
Right.
That just becomes more like your Pac-Man moving around and not a Pac-Man that stops and has a nervous breakdown after.
Yeah, exactly.
It's making the wrong turn.
Yeah, totally. It's part, like, suffering is part of the like purpose of life, not purpose of life. It's part of the experience of life, and so it's like you can't never suffer. If you never suffered, you would never have pleasure either. It's just like part of the existence of human nature, and like by calling it suffering, are we making it like, are we giving it a negative connotation? Like maybe it just is. Like maybe it's not a bad.
Well,
thing
I
or
think
a good
it's.
thing.
I think what it is not exactly that, but I think it's like your relationship to the experience of suffering changes.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like what you're saying, but it's like but it's coming from the opposite movement.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Not quite. The opposite movement.
It's okay. Anyway, I wanted to ask you about if I can change topics.
Yeah, let's switch it up.
I wanted to see if you would talk about your acting class at all.
Oh,
I got a little
gosh.
bit jazzed up listening to
So this is interesting. My
Joel's
my
message.
BFF Bamus is an acting professor, and like I've known him since before he went to grad school. You know, like I studied acting with him, and then he kind of like stayed in the academic. He like went into the academic world, and now he's a teacher. And I kind of just like went to the School of Hard Knocks and started a ticket company. Which and so we talk about that a lot, and so I've like tried to keep in touch with acting by going to acting classes over the years, and I had been at a place called Kimball Studio for a long time. Very, very special place, really amazing community there, and I made some like wonderful art with some wonderful people. That's how we met. As I met the friend who introduced us, I met them at this acting studio. But I've been there for 10 years, right? And so like last year I decided I was going to like, take a break from acting class. And so like my last class at Kimball Studio was in December. And I think one of the Substack pieces I wrote took place there. I didn't publish it right away, but the Grand Central Crossfade. Anyway, so then one of my buddies that I, from the Kimball world, like he made a film and I was cast in it, and it was like brought a lot of his network together. Some of them were from Maggie Flanagan, incredibly talented people, like really, really wonderful people. Like it was an amazing set to work on. I've been on a lot of sets in a lot of different capacities, and most of the time being on set is kind of a nightmare because it's a very difficult and stressful thing to do. But this was like a really wonderful experience on set. I was only on set for one day, so I don't know what it was like grinding it out every single day. But it seemed to just still have this like wonderful energy to it. And so like on the film festival circuits, like we're excited to go and see it, and there's like a really good bubble around it. So I was feeling really good about acting because I'd filmed that last spring and then hadn't done anything all the rest of the year, really. I don't think I'd done much. So I went back and I was like, oh, I'm really proud of this work. Like I was like, I think I did pretty good work, and this is a good film, Like this is a very good film that like deserves, like I believe in, it's Beach Bum Collective. I'm like, I am a 100% supporter of them. Like, go see their movies.
Yeah.
It's called That Creep from the Bar Last Night. Check it out at a film festival near you. But yeah, so my friend, two people that I knew from that set, go to this acting class. So I was like, and they got really excited. They're like, you should check out this acting teacher. He lives in Texas, and he
Everyone, I feel like we saw them all at a party and like everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
And then everyone was getting other people to come to this. They're like amazing scene study workshop. And hearing about it, I was even like, oh, like should I take the scene study workshop? Like everyone
You thought you should take
I even had a moment and I'm like, that's crazy.
That's right, because there is this one guy. There is this one guy in class who's like, he's never been in an acting class before.
He's not trained, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's doing it for the second time.
Yeah. Is it his second time?
Yeah, he did it once already.
I didn't realize he'd done it once already. But yeah, it's interesting. So so I jumped into the class really excited. And I'll just say, like, I'm not sure it's my style of class yet. Like, I think, like, I can see, like, the acting, the teacher is talking more than I want to do. I feel like he's giving more notes than I'm like, all right, this is interesting, but like, I'm not sure I want an acting lecture. Like it feels like an improvised acting lecture. And I'm like, that's great. That is interesting stuff. I don't like, that's not how I feel like I want to be in class.
You want to be like more
I want to be more active. Like, I feel like acting is a muscle. I think you need to get a few takes in. I think you need to get through it. I'm very interested in Professor Bamus's he just started talking about it, but I haven't listened to his whole thing. So it'll be an interesting discussion of like how to teach acting. It's like this, it's this difficult thing. But I also, I haven't been. I feel like the work that maybe he's wanting to do is like deeper than, or like, there's like a tendency, like if you really want to study the shit out of like scene study, like go every single line and you just like every moment is super, super obsessively specific. I just got lost in choppy waters a little bit.
If you want to do that, like he's going for something deeper.
I feel like maybe I'm just not in that shape. Like my life is not dedicated to the theater right now. I think like at the time when I was actively making theater and taking classes, I probably would have appreciated this whole like, getting 15 seconds into the scene and stopping and talking about it. But I feel like that's not where I'm at right now. Like.
Does it feel very like academic? Like.
No, it's not academic. He's telling his experiences, like he's connecting his life as an actor and an acting teacher, Yeah. It's his, it's his stories. Yeah, I'm.
So you have to hope you connect with his stories.
Yeah, you have to kind of hope you connect. But yeah, I would much rather like be like working on it. But maybe that's like how it. I don't know. I'm only in two. Like the first class we went through, you could get through the whole scene unless you like went up on a line, then you didn't finish it, which is weird.
Wait, what does that mean?
Like if you went up on a line, we didn't have anybody on book, so it's like when I went up on a line in the middle of my scene,
what does that mean? Went up on a line?
You forgot when I forgot the line.
Okay.
We didn't get to finish the scene, and like I get it. I get the standard of like, okay, well you got to put in the work, but it's like I don't know, like I went up on a line, and now it's like, all right, so. Am I going to get through this whole scene in this whole class? I don't know. But like whatever, like I think, she and I, like my scene partner and I, will work it out and make it as good as I think it's about how well you connect with your scene partner and the kind of work you do with your scene partner.
That makes sense.
So I'm gonna go to the city and work with my scene partner for a couple hours tomorrow and see how that goes.
Yeah.
But I never like to come into like a class, any acting class or any sort of class like with a negative connotation, because then you just won't learn. Like you just won't. Like I'm just like, all right, maybe this isn't my style of teaching, but like I'll learn something from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what I'm learning from it now is like, okay, my breath is like, you got to really have strong breath control, because it affects your energy. It's just like awesome thing that has been getting called out for me at this class is like, if in the middle of something and then you're letting the tension, you're letting the energy of the scene go down. And it's like a nervous tick, you're like,
Yeah, interesting.
so if you can like work that into work that out of your speaking, kind of like working the word out of your speaking.
Yeah.
And that's like not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew, that seems hard.
Acting is hard.
I don't know if I could do that.
Acting is very tough. We're at 47 minutes. It's pretty solid.
Cool.
Coyote's in my lap.
I know. I don't know where Bubs went.
Bubs,
I miss him being here.
He needed some independent time.
I guess. To have private time.
Yeah. Bubs, our cats need private time.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed hearing about
My acting class?
how your acting class is going. It's a crazy thing to do.
I know, just meeting new people.
I think I've felt a little bit more nudged lately than I have in the last several years to do more creative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to that 420 party and they had a ceramics table.
Mm-hmm.
I made the zine at the bicycle day party.
Yeah.
And I feel like people have been asking me to do stuff or talking about doing stuff, and
Yeah.
our other friend was asking to take a ceramics class with me at some point. And when I was at I noticed when I was at the 420 table, and it was just hand building, you can make whatever you want, and if you want to fire it, you pay $10 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually good, a really good deal. But I just noticed I didn't have the when you're making stuff. I mean, it's been a while since I've been in ceramics, but or made stuff for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in it, you really have to there is a level. It's it's work.
Yeah.
There's a level of commitment. It's not just oh, la-di-da. This is all really chill and enjoyable.
No, you're getting a workout.
There's stuff that you have to work through.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that I didn't really want to do it. I didn't end up firing anything. I was playing with stuff and making shapes just for fun, kind of in a meditative way.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really all right, I'm gonna make it.
You're gonna go try to make a cup.
I'm gonna score it correctly. If you're gonna fire something, there's certain things you need to do to make sure that the integrity of the material stays strong when it goes into the oven. You know.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, but I think
it seems like it'd take a lot of hard work.
I just have to be. I could do it. I just have to be in the mood for it. And I think I've been in a pretty laid back mood.
Yeah, maybe it's time to kick ourselves into hard working gear.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. I think the run club could be really awesome though. Because I've been afraid of the joint. I've been afraid of okay, my joints. I'm a tall, skinny dude.
Why are you afraid? What? Where did this come from?
I don't know.
Is it does your body actually hurt?
I think that I haven't ever been good at holding I don't think I've ever had a strong core. So I think I've just kind of had if you're not running correctly, I assume I'm not
a noodly gait.
Yeah, a noodly gait.
Just
exactly.
wiggling down.
Chaotic. running real hard like a middle school kid gait, you know? I imagine I could be much more efficient.
Oh, it's so funny, babe. Have I never seen you run before?
I haven't run in a long time, but I used to be like...
Well, we run when we have to catch the train.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like if I had... There was a moment where I was considering transferring high schools to a larger school to see if I could make the track team, you know? Like,
so what? What's the problem? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was a good mile runner. I was a good runner. Why don't I? Yeah, that's so weird. Why I don't. I should get back into running.
If you're worried about your joints, by the way, you should start taking these collagen pills. People fucking swear by them for their joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, they help keep the good cushiony stuff in there.
The cushiony
stuff. Keep it juicy.
Keep it juicy. That's the title of the podcast, everybody. We hope this one. We hope we kept it juicy enough for you on this episode. Wow.
A juicy question that I was gonna ask you earlier, and then we got sidetracked.
Okay.
Was about you were talking about trauma.
Trauma,
and we were talking about that there's a lot of trauma in sex.
Sexual trauma, specifically.
And I was gonna ask if your first sexual experience was good or traumatic.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you mean by sexual experience.
I don't know. First handful of them.
They're all pretty good. I said, like, the only traumatic thing about any of my sexual experiences is, I think, how the world reacted to them. You know?
Oh.
Because I grew up in a pretty Puritan culture. You know, a very... like not sex positive culture.
Right.
So it's like, all right, one of the first sexual experiences was like just like two young boys like doing a jack off. I don't remember like jacking off in the back of a car or something. I can't even remember.
Okay.
We got in trouble. It was some sort of in trouble masturbation, type story. And then it was just like a lot of like freaking out around that. I mean, that's not the whole details of the story. I don't think I'm going to go into the whole detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was I think that the major trauma came from like the reaction to it. But other than that, like, just like fooling around with girls in high school and whatnot, I'd say they were all great.
That's good.
It's just like we were hiding behind the curtain of pretending that we weren't doing it.
Yeah.
So it went real slow.
Oh, it went slow.
Went real slow.
Yeah, it sounds like slow. It's good slow for you.
Yeah, but once I got into it, once I lost my virginity at the age of 25, I had a good slutty.
All hell broke loose?
I had a good slutty decade. Not quite decade. Probably.
Decade? Damn.
No, when did we meet? We met when I was 32, so
That's
probably five slutty years.
That's pretty good.
5 slutty years is a great fucking time.
Well, I guess it depends on how you feel about being slutty.
I feel great about it. I'm glad I slutted it up for 5 years while I was hot and in great shape. That's the thing. Like, if a part of I was wanting to be in theater shape because I was like, every so often I'm just gonna have to bang one of these hot actresses, and I'm gonna have to be in shape. And that's not really how it goes. That's in my imagination. It's just like, oh man, I wish I could just hook up with all these hot actresses, but for the most part, I did not do any of that. Because I was not smooth, and
so who were you hooking up with then?
I was swiping. It was like online dating.
Yeah.
I think one of my regular hookups was OkCupid. Yeah, I think I use the apps and whatnot for
like a pussy delivery service.
Like a pussy delivery service. That's exactly what it was, babe.
But it's more of a pickup than a delivery.
More of a nice. Well, we almost met on a pussy delivery service.
It's true, we did.
Have we told that story on this podcast?
I think we told it on. We told it on.
Oh, we told it on the
Very
Afterglow.
Ape on the Afterglow. We have to post that at some point.
We do.
It was a good episode.
It was. But yeah, we came across each other on OkCupid. And I feel like this is a good story to start winding down on. Is that all right?
On the OkCupid story?
Yeah.
Sure.
So we'll do like a quick one. It's 56 minutes. So yeah, we almost met on OkCupid, but we messaged back and forth for a little bit, and I asked you out, and you ghosted me, right?
Not that I ghosted. I just didn't respond. We never met up.
We never met up. We texted for maybe a
But
few
dropping
days.
a conversation in the app is like very common.
Very common. It's cruel and unusual ghosting, but it's very common.
It's not ghosting if you haven't met the person
I
yet.
know, I'm just kidding. But I didn't manage to get over the reality line. I didn't manage to meet you in person.
I was at the end of my rope. I had like met and hooked up with like enough people and like to be like ugh, no, I'm done with this fucking thing.
Yeah.
I remember seeing your profile and being like, oh, this is a good one. Oh, this is a good one. Oh, he lives close by. And then being like, I thought that about the last one. I can't do this anymore. Like, no.
Wow. There's an alternate universe. Well, it's probably because I think I was slutty at the time. So I think because shortly thereafter you ended up in your long-term relationship, right? Or had that already starting?
It started. It had started shortly after that.
It started shortly after that, and I had 5 years of sluttiness. And then we came together. And the universe brought us together. For real. And we've done pretty good. They brought these kittens here, and they brought all these lovely people into our lives on the other side of the camera. Whether we've met you in real life or not, we appreciate you tuning in.
Whether we know who you are or not.
Yeah, whether you're...
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't tell you.
Are you staying behind the internet wall of anonymity? Or are you going to reveal yourselves as a listener of too much intimacy? Should we get up and do the outro?
Sure. I feel like you're moving along, and I'm like pretty slow going.
Well,
I'm like you with your virginity years. I'm moving real slow.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Well, I think that I feel like I didn't get to tell any sexy stories. I think I feel a little bit left out about that.
Well, maybe we'll do a quick second episode. Maybe we'll bank one. If we still got an hour of steam.
No, I'm gonna tell it now.
While we're in this position, okay.
It's gonna be a quick one.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I changed my mind.
All right, everybody. Let's get out of here. Next up, but you can tell a sexy story next time if you want to. I think you should. I think that's what people should be coming. But you don't have to if you don't want to. This is a safe space. Are we going to do the outro?
Yeah, we're going to do the outro.
Do you want me to take the lead or do you?
I can do it.
You got it? All right.
Okay, the outro is to cuddle up against yourself.
Cuddle up against yourself.
And dream dirty thoughts as you go to sleep.
And dream dirty thoughts as you go to sleep. That's right, folks. You heard it first. Cuddle up against yourself and dream dirty thoughts as you go to sleep. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Too Much Intimacy.